Amazing work today with all your projects. I got a chance to walk around and see some really incredible, amazing things. I can't wait this is the best part where we all share what we do, and we're really excited. We're going to start with the solo projects. Each of you guys have about a minute and a half to talk about what you did. Jeff, can we start with you? Sure. All right, come on up. I'm going to switch over to this. There we go, and you're in presentation mode. There you go. All right. Okay, so the goal with this was to be as authentic as I could toward what I do. Because I teach digital arts, animation, game design, those sort of things, my students encounter computer science from the top. It's very abstracted for them, and their goal in getting deeper is that they want to do more with the stuff that they've already been doing. And so that's why they learn more skills. So if I introduce them immediately with code, it's a huge turnoff. Instead, I'm going to go backwards and give them reasons why. So earlier, I had a great suggestion for stop motion, which I think would be fantastic, have them actually create their own camera. Then I thought about my game design classes, and they always want a game controller. And so this was a really good opportunity to give them an authentic reason to code and make a game controller that services their needs. It would be introduced right after they have learned Scratch and already made games, and then can apply it to the games that they've made. So this is the code. I had some help from Cyrus, thank you. We had to install XDo tool and then figure out a little bit of its quirkiness, but ultimately it wasn't too bad. And then a little later I added 2 buttons onto the little breadboard that comes with the Explorer hat. So this was the setup. It's not exactly the most intuitive way to use a game controller, but after messing with it, I realized you can do more. So here is a demo of it running. So it works fine, but as you're holding it, your fingers can end up like shorting processes. So I'm like trying to press the up to flip it, and it was not doing it. Then I realized my hand was in the way. So
I think that'll do.
That's great. So, just to finish up, I think the next steps with it is timed releases, because I had to constantly press the buttons, and then create a cover, which would be a great opportunity to use Blender for a practical purpose with a 3D printer, and then more long-term, make a less unwieldy game controller by putting a directional pad with leads into it. So there we have it. Awesome. All right, I'm going to just pick a file random here. David, get you going here. Want to talk about this?
Yeah, so that's fairly horrifying to see yourself on.
Should I make it big here?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, no. Yeah.
All right. So similar to what we did yesterday in class, stop motion. Well, it's added stop motion to it or time lapse, and that was an idea I had. I think I read it in one of the magazines or online before I came. And the next step, which would not load with 10 minutes left, was I made a stop motion 209 frame Lego movie, and it was too much for it. I should have closed a bunch of windows before I tried, but I was very happy that this worked. And again, thanks to Cyrus, wherever he is hiding. There he is. Yeah. I had to download, convert, or change it.
Yep. We used Image Magic.
Right.
And there's a convert tool.
Convert tool.
GIF or GIF, whatever you want to call it.
Giphy GIF. So anyway, so can we get rid of this horrifying? Yeah. But exceeded all my expectations as far as what I got done today. And it's still playing. Oh my God.
Thank you. All right, Dean Washington.
So what the device is now doing is waiting
Oh, we got
to give it a touch signal. Once I give it a touch signal, it will flash the LED to tell me it's ready. It will then move to a particular location with the wheels, which I can't do because it's all tethered. And then it'll take a picture of its surroundings and tweet that picture to the web. Wow. We're gonna hit the touch sensor now. See, light is blinking. Wheels will start running. They're moving.
Okay, so this should run so long as you don't call this.
Now it's taking a picture of the guy taking a picture. And it's tweeted it to the web.
That's great.
What's the tweet?
The tweet says, actually,
Your phone's over your phone.
what does the tweet say? It says, I have it here. I'm tweeting pics from the rover I designed in Picademy.
Right.
What I wanted to do was utilize everything as much as possible of what we actually learned throughout the class. And the goal, I'm calling this the NITB rover, nothing left in the box. So we try to use all of the actuators and sensors that we've learned here. And that's why there's an LED. That's why I use the touch sensor, the camera. And I almost got everything. I could not get, didn't have enough time to do the temperature sensor. We would have tweeted that out too. But that's it. Thank you.
Lauren, you're up next here. Do you have which movie do you want to play first?
It's a,
Okay.
they're a little anticlimactic for what was gonna. So I attached the Sense Hat and the Pi cam to the Pi, and the Sense Hat is such a spectacularly beautiful piece of hardware, but unfortunately doesn't film so well. So what happened was we installed QR tools. And the Pi cam then took a photo of a QR code and read the data. And this is kind of set up so that you would be touring the school. And so it read the QR code, and then if the QR code came back as the location that you wanted to be at, or that you were trying to go to, it would tell you on the screen, like, go left, or if it were not where you wanted to go, it would then indicate to you that you needed to go right. I also used the inputs that are available, or the sensors that are available on the Sense Hat, so that it knew the place that you wanted to go to from the beginning, so that if you were going to hold the Pi up this way, it knew that your intended direction to go to was the main office, for example, and that was how it was helping you determine to go left or right. Some of that started to get built in. It wasn't all in there yet. So, but I think this could be a good way for perhaps like a freshman orientation. Our freshmen always come in and they have to walk around, and so it'd be a good point of entry for them to be able to see where they could take something like this and play around with
Great. Thank you.
Patty, you ready?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
just need the movie. I don't actually need the other thing.
Just the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the other thing didn't work.
Another Sense Hat. Okay.
Okay, so I like to do big build engineering projects with my Algebra 2 class that span a semester. And I had the idea of them creating an installation art piece that could be interactive. So each of the kids would design sort of an image that would trigger from a motion sensor, like a burst. And then I also wanted to have sort of a sound or a note attached to it. And so all of my kids together, their individual projects would be this huge wall, and so that you can move in front of it and make light and music. And it would be like a service project to help beautify the school and to promote the cool things that we can do in Miss Johnson's class. And so I'm new to Raspberry Pis. I've never touched one until yesterday. So I broke it up into components. So I did my little flash, and I was trying to get the motion sensor to work, but I couldn't quite get there. But this is a project that I'm actually going to be doing starting in January with the kids. So fingers crossed.
All right.
right, now we're going to start with the group presentations. You guys should be, you maybe, there you go. Okay, and it'll show up here as well, I hope, if I just have it do that.
See if I can show you guys this. So this is Doc Babbage.
Here we go. You can see it down here, Patrick, so it's a little easier to control.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so basically we kind of started out with the idea that it would be a great way for kids to have a checkup in school. Like instead of going to the nurse, you could send them out to Doc Babbage and you can take their temperature and pulse. So he's got a temperature sensor, and then he's got 3 LEDs on him. So when it's checking the temperature, it's not changing, it's green, and then once it starts to change, sorry, you should see it change to measuring, and then the light goes on, and until he hits the threshold, and it takes a little while, so
for the purposes of demonstration, a fever is anything over 80 degrees. Otherwise, we'd be here, for quite a while. The temperature sensor has a lot of thermal mass. Probably not the best thing for measuring body temperature. Probably if Babbage were in charge, maybe it should be Barista Babbage, and it could check the temperature of your coffee or something. Might
right.
be
There could be some other applications depending on what kind of doctor you wanted to play.
Stream live over the internet.
Oh,
There we go. So we have it set once it hits 80 to tweet. Hopefully that's working now.
Almost
Almost done. I'm really just standing here so long so we can take up more of your time.
Almost. Now. We thought we had fixed that part, but apparently not. So that was, and now the red light. Now his indicator light is red because you have a fever, and that's about it. Babbage would be great for I would say rather than shut down the thing, let's just
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in your way. That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
No.
Okay. Yes, I'll write your address on it and pass it over. Yep. Okay. We're good. Yeah, anytime you're ready, go for it.
Okay. We created an educational consultant bot that teachers can refer to at any time if they have problems or questions or concerns. So go ahead. The Misty Mountains, I seek the wisdom. I need money to buy Raspberry Pis. Let's do it.
So it's randomized, so you get a different response.
You get a
theoretically
different
each time.
response. And the eyes flash and does a little dance. So, we need a longer cable.
Where did that come from? Oh, it's the motor.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Because I extended the cables on the LEDs.
You use for this.
We use Scratch because we're K through 5 educators, and even though Python is great and I'm getting more comfortable with it, they're not getting that much more comfortable with it. It's not ever going to be
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. Eventually, I mean, all you do is create a variable and just create the variable called add-on and then turn it to Explorer Hat. Apparently, they just added it fairly recently. And then you just create these broadcasts for your motor, if you can, for any of your sensors. We didn't finish. We had just finished finding a file to download the Charlie Brown teacher want to make that sound effect when it's displaying its answer, but we ran out of time. So that would be the next improvement we made. The bot. Okay. That's it. That's it, and that's what he does. Shut down.
Proper shutdown.
There you go.
Oh, we hold on it. Oh, you want the HDMI?
Yeah, this is just for setup.
That's okay. We'll go on the
Right there.
Oh, wow.
It's a habitat.
All right, so who's up now? Who's talking?
This is the CritterBot.
Go for it.
CritterBot. Okay, so let me explain the concept behind CritterBot. I have a biology teacher who has a whole classroom full of animals. He does this unit called It's a Zoo in Here, and I love doing that, but I really don't want to get anywhere near the snakes that are in the classroom. We have a snake called Cuddles. So we are going to create a critter cam for Cuddles so that every time Cuddles molts, and we were calling it shed earlier, we have learned new terminology today. So we're gonna take a picture from the motion sensor. That picture on delay time will go into a Twitter feed, and the Twitter feed will tell us here's Cuddles, but it will also show us the process of the molting process every time Cuddles moves. So we
combined what we could find, the CritterBot software, and then a motion sensor. So we've got, you can't see it here, but we've got a motion sensor here, and then the camera. And then we also have a lot, and the LED goes on when motion is detected. So if we run this, so we just combined a bunch of programs, which was always exciting. And you know, a comment on the code is that in the computer science teaching training sessions that I've been to, they always tell you, let the kids make messy code. Well, they should also say, let yourself make messy code too. It's all right. So if we run it, so it's going to say, so it's now it's waiting for motion. And so if we just help Cuddles move just a little bit because it's molting, then the light should come on. Yeah, we threw an error there too, which is always exciting. But it's also taking, so it's sending tweets right now so that it's Chris's generous Twitter account, which got 58 tweets earlier. We didn't realize that it was on.
Yeah, so if you go to my Twitter account, you're going to see a lot of tweets that say, here's Cuddles. Cuddles hasn't been doing a whole heck of a lot, but, you know, he hasn't quite molted. Something to do with possibly the plasticine spots on his back.
Anyway, but it works.
What Heidi and I did was we worked on, we kind of split ourselves up into parts of the group as a working project team. So it turned out Anita is our code junkie, so she messed around with a lot of the code. Heidi and I, we kind of went and had a look at the Twitter feed that we needed to put in. So we tried to figure that out and hit some roadblocks along the way, but between us, we kind of figured it out. And then we had our build expertise. And he designed all of the physical side of the house in terms of all the wiring and where stuff should go in the tank. And figured out some of our nuances to make sure that we capture Cuddles in his true and authentic cuddly self. So there you have it, Critter Cam, CritterBot, Cuddles Cam, whatever you want to call it. Catch your critters doing stuff at night. It makes that movie Pets What was it called? The Disney movie?
Secret
Secret
Life.
Life of Pets. You can find out the secret life of what's going on in your classroom at night just by a motion sensor and some Raspberry Pi.
That's very nice vision of labor on that.
Yeah.
We all worked.
And while we're switching, if anyone wants to put any questions, that's fine. I think we'll be fine on that.
Sure. It's my board. I'll do it.
If you have code you want to share, you can put it on GitHub, or you can put it on Pastebin or on Google Drive or something, and share it with the email group. That's probably the best way to do it for now. When you say it's Mark, easiest.
Go get that Google Plus.
Yeah. Okay. Are you guys ready to go?
You good?
That's okay. We're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good. Okay, ours was classroom room work. Think about things with being high school that are already in the buildings where there's kids going to the restroom, the office, the nurse, wherever, and they're hard to track for whatever's going on. So we said, why don't we just go ahead and try automating all of that? So we figured, why don't we have a button for the office, button for the nurse, button for the restroom, and things of that nature. We tried going color coding, so the button for blue, yellow, like restroom, like I got to go now. Then white to return, so that way they're out and we come in. And as we played with this, it's right there in front. These were the coding guys. I was kind of just learning here, brand new to coding. But came through, and John got everything all set up, so you guys can take over from here.
So we're going to demo the 3 places you can go from our classroom.
So it's live right now. Ooh, right?
So the camera won't start until they actually activate a button. So I'm going to go to the nurse. So we thought blue was good for that, for code blue. So when they press it, it's going to give them a second to preview, and then we'll have to refresh, which is weird.
And then over here on our
because
Twitter
we're-
feed, which we've made a private Twitter account, so that's, you know,
And then there I am, and it says gone to nurse.
we know who's gone and who's not.
So you want to go to the office?
I'll go to the office.
So we thought it'd be great because now we have documentation. So you could apply this to a tutorial log.
Right.
So that way, and then you could share that with just maybe your AP or your admin that might find it useful, or the counselor to say, they're
could
like,
just
oh, we've
crash.
been going to tutorials. Well, let me just go check. And they'd have access to it, but it wouldn't be something that everyone could have access to.
I don't know if we just crashed or not. We may have just crashed, of course. Right? I don't know. And of course, I may have just, you know, sent like 5 million pictures.
And at the very end, we tried to get it set up with a rainbow hat. We wanted to add color
Yeah, well,
to that, but we just had a hard time
Because we
getting
thought
that
it
at
would,
the same
yeah,
time.
we thought it'd be great if we had like our lights and then something would light up as they're gone, and then when they come back, we wanted it to get light, so set light and then get light, so turn it back off. That part didn't work. This part kind of went faster.
Okay. Try something.
Okay, restroom. Need to go, need to go, need to go. All set? So press, the kid would line up their badge, ID, whatever, let go, it takes it, refresh, go to Twitter, and then you've got that documentation to share with whoever needs to see that the kids are where they're supposed to be.
Even logging projects, you know.
Our original goal was not to make this a Twitter project. Our original goal was just, you know, like keep logs. And so, you know, we have every one of the pictures that have been taken include a timestamp and everything all on that. And so, you know, the Twitter was, you know, like, oh, that would be cool if, well, we got everything else working. And then, you know, it was like, well, okay, let's go there too. Let's see if that way, let's see if we can make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The timestamp's so neat because it makes a unique file. Because that was our yesterday when we did that frame, and it was like you can take 5 pictures. And then we were like, well, how are we going to do it by the year, by the day? And so the timestamp was actually really the easiest part. That was like one line, throw it in, and then it was done. So, you know, okay, that's it.
That's it.
Thanks.
That's I just shut down. Yeah, it's on shutdown, so you can upload. Oh, wait. There you go.
Shut down again.
Yeah.
They recently that shut down dialogue, so you do a file shutdown, just enter, and it'll shut down. Little things like that make a big difference in usability when you have to shut down 10 Raspberry Pis. Enter, enter makes a big difference.
Here you go, you're right down here.
Oh, so good. Why don't we get ready yet? Is it going to run? Because
We just changed it.
okay, sorry. Oh, there we go. But I mean, I did hit run after we put it on here. But does it matter? Okay.
Okay, so we are new to Raspberry Pi and new to Python. So we created this ArtBot, ScriptBot, DrawBot as a way for us to learn Raspberry Pi and Python and also think of ways we could introduce it with students. And so we use two motors in the Explorer hat to set up some conditionals that will create forward, backward, right and left turns based on the press of our buttons.
How do we get this to show up there?
Do we want?
Are we supposed to have it showing up there?
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, this, it's not?
There's no,
no,
there's no.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
doesn't show. I thought this was gonna show up there. We could, okay, we can have a video. Okay.
Got it. That's right.
Okay, so yeah, by the button, like if I push one, it should be going, but see, we didn't do run before he disconnected it. Does that matter? We can do it on here, right? Oh. Okay. But all you have to do is go to the.
I'm sorry.
Go to the pro, yeah. You can tell we're new.
No, that's fine. There you go.
Okay, and now, when we push one, it will go one direction. We push two, it'll go a different direction, and three, it'll turn, and then four will stop it. And so it's our Scribblebot or ArtBot.
We have
whatever. We have lots of kind of names. So, and it's at random, so it will, you know, randomly go different speeds. And, you know, you get some thicker markers and make it like, you know, really beautiful designs. And four stops it.
We thought this is sort of an introduction that we could use with students, and we thought this could have more depth and complexity if we had a coordinate grid and kids could figure out how to create specific drawings and create programs around that. And there are lots of ways to kind of take this to another level that we've.
We thought another level might be like 3D printer. It could be a 2-dimensional artwork where they had to create the code to make a Christmas tree at Christmas time, you know, and use red and green markers. And then Valentine's Day, maybe they have to make a heart or something related to that, Halloween, a lantern, you know.
Lots of measurement and mathematics can be applied in more depth and understanding of Python coding.
Yeah.
Which we need to do ourselves.
You could do that like the like logo language turtle drawing on the ground thing.
I'm going to definitely explore those communities and all
Oh,
the resources.
yeah,
I saw
we will look
those.
at
We
that.
consider
Yeah.
those actually. So yes, definitely.
Thank you, everybody. For your
Thank you, Mr. Clinton, who made our beautiful Raspberry Pi logo.
Okay, so we're Lindsay and Joy, and we put together a Raspberry Pi to, the end result would be to create audiobooks for students.
And how lucky Lindsay happened to have a mic, blue snowflake, and I've already ordered one.
The way that this is supposed to work, assuming it does, is that we can make individual recordings. It stores the recordings, and then we tell it to start by pushing a button, stop by pushing a button, and then we push a button that plays all the recordings. So if you wanted to have students record a book or do an interview or something like that, you could have different students do different files, and then you could play them all together. So we're going to demonstrate for you. This is recording 1.
Errors have occurred. We won't tell you where or why. Lazy programmers.
This is recording 1.
Errors have occurred. We won't tell you where or why. Lazy programmers.
That's great.
So we have Ethan, thank you, he's a rock star. I am a programmer, but not on Python, and he is awesome. And Mark, and.
Great, thank you. That's awesome.
Wait,
Just one more second, that was really fast.
Do you want to at least introduce yourselves? And
Hey, so at my school, one of the things we're trying to build on is a Twitter community to help bring us all together and be able to tell the story of what's going on in our school. So what we wanted to create today is celebrating people's birthday. We wanted to be able to have maybe an open house or PTA, a photo booth where everyone could come in, touch the button. It's going to take a picture, save the file as their name and their birth date, and then we would be able to have a program that runs and then auto-populates a tweet on that day with that person's picture wishing them a happy birthday. We thought that would be even neat to bring in parents, people from the community, to also include them. So they'll explain the inner workings of it.
Okay, so the first thing we had to do is figure out how to, first of all, get the camera to work with the button push. So we used that from yesterday. And then we also wanted to get the Twitter live. So we had a few tweets that were just static tweets that would come out. And then we got the picture to populate with the tweet. And then we used a variable input. If you look right here in the code, sorry. Can't even find it now. But right there. So it says hoping, and then our variable inputs there with their name that was saved when they took the picture. And then we also saved, we wanted to make sure that the picture was saved as a unique file. So it also asked them to input their student ID. And then the file is saved because we have several students with the same names. So we have a student ID tagged with their name and the date. And then that all saves in one folder. And we created a folder specifically for that. Over here in our pictures. So every time you take the picture, it will save right there. Now we did, we're trying right now to create a separate file so that it will pull from that file and it'll run it every single day. So you won't have to take the picture every single day. So we have to separate the two files at that point. That's our next step. But let's see how it works. So we push F5 to run it. Yeah, oh, there it goes. Yeah. Okay. And it should prompt you, what's your first name? So I'm going to put in Aaron's name because he did most of the programming on the variables.
And this is what is happening at Meet the Teacher Night when we take all the pictures.
Just a random student ID. And then I'm going to put in a different date from today to show that it does not do it on when it's not your birthday. So it says, oh, sorry.
So we also did validation, so to make sure they actually put in a date in there, the format that we want.
Not your birthday, it will not send anything, but we're going to go ahead and push the button. I don't think it will. And it says just today is not your birthday. And if we look in the picture, it has the picture of all of you over there. Okay, but then we're going to run it again. And I'm going to choose Aaron's name again. And another random student ID. And today I'm going to put today's date. So smile again. And we're going to take your picture again. And this time in the Twitter feed, there's this says that it tweeted it. and it tweets it with your name specifically in the hashtag. So do I need to update here?
Refresh, yeah.
Okay.
And view.
And there you are.
What was the challenge you encountered with the Twitter API? How was it for you?
We didn't have any problems getting the original static message to tweet for the most part when we got the help from Picademy forum. So that was very, very helpful. And then we got all of the specific information that we needed from that. I think putting it together with the variables was the most challenging part, and then trying to figure out which program needed to go together. So we had everything together in one program. The next step is separating it out, and when we went to separate it out, we realized that it was pulling the name variable, but since it wasn't in that program prompting for the name, we had to pull the name from the file, which we hadn't saved as part of the file because we had saved it as student ID. So we had to reformat the way we were saving the file, and then we ran out of time, so we don't have that finished yet.
Yeah, okay.
Go for it.
Ready? All right, so this is why we wanted to go first, so we could do the really simple stuff and let all these impressive other ones go up later. For me, since I've been tweeting a lot, I want to check on how the Twitter feed was going. And Bruce and I started discussing this, and we thought that a Twitter bot would be a good one. And we started discussing maybe first it would do something when the hashtag Picademy would go out, and then afterwards we wanted to see if you could check for two different things. And after some discussion with Mark helping us along, we were able to come up with this code to where we could go down here at the end. It checks for Picademy, or down at the bottom we've got my Twitter handle, just so we can start. Again, you can see all the red stuff that's there. That's when we try something, it would work, then we would comment out just in case we made a mistake after we did something else. So I'll just run it now. Hopefully it doesn't give us any errors again. So we've got that, and let me do a quick tweet for just a test, and then I'll put Picademy. And if everyone can see the little red light over here, I spelled it correctly.
Or if somebody else wants to tweet, it doesn't have to be us. But.
I promise we just tested it and it worked.
I know. It just did. Will it stay on? Or is it...
No, it blinks for just 5 seconds, but for some reason, no. Yeah, of course, it doesn't want to work, and we just tested it right now.
There you go.
Okay. I guess the network's going a little bit slow. So in this case, and then it shows up what the Twitter was, and then if I do one, and again, it shuts off afterwards, then I'll, hopefully this one's a little bit faster. So in this case, thank you all for tweeting. Now, when there's a mention, the green one will go off. But now, since other people are also doing Picademy, now it's getting confused on if it's going to be red or green. But that's it. So we figured this way, if you want to put it somewhere, you would have a flash if it's red or green or whatever. And then the next thing we wanted to do is, Bruce started on, we might not be able to see the light, so he wanted to set up the buzzer next.
Yeah, so I have, on mine, I've got the buzzer set up. So if it's one, like a mention, it gives you the buzzer sound. If it's not a mention, just the hashtag, it'll give you the light. Or you can set it up so if it's a mention, it'll do a real quick beep. And if it's just a hashtag, it'll give you a longer beep. So you can just hear the difference as opposed to actually seeing one's visual one, you know. So anyway, eventually I would like to do the unicorn and have it, if it's a mention, you know, make a certain image, you know, pixel image on that. If it's a hashtag, then it does a, you know, something for the hashtag or scrolls across the word or something. So we'll see. All right.
So Nate is a new father.
The Babbage?
Yeah, he's a little upset that he had to be here today. He had to leave his child.
So one of the things that if you've been a parent recently with children, you take lots of pictures. But what about the times when you're not there to catch all the cutest moments of your child, right? And so we made what we call shaken Babbage syndrome, which is kind of semantic.
You guys are thinking the wrong way.
But
all positive.
But it's a little toy for a child to play with, and when it senses motion, it plays Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which Valerie coded in Sonic Pi. But on top of that, it also then takes images. It takes images and video files of what's going on.
It has a camera from its eye.
It does.
Yes. It wouldn't be playing if there wasn't power. So we also have a battery pack powering it, so it's not powered by AC adapter. Let's try the HDMI again. And so all of those files are going to be saved locally by timestamps so that you can go back to them and check back all the videos and the photos that it takes. So it does one photo every time it plays a song, and then it records a 5-second video right after that. So
the idea was to also add some Twitter things to it, but we realized our design process was being cut short, so we did some things.
Yeah, Babbage wasn't big enough to stuff everything. But you got the idea, right?
One group that rips Babbage apart. We're running low on Babbages.
Good job, guys.
Okay, so we kind of went on to Minecraft and kind of went off of the Midas Touch from yesterday. And so Minecraft is a great resource for students just because they can build a lot of things that they're currently studying and learning. But the main hassle is trying to find all those resources you need. And so we started searching for one resource, which is gold. And so basically what it does while you're walking around, it'll scan 30 blocks down and let you know if there's a resource you're looking for. So we are able to do gold today. If we come across a gold resource within 30 blocks underneath us, the little gold coin lights up on the hat there, the Sims hat. And then if not, it's a frowny face letting you know there's no gold in your vicinity. And so it was kind of nice to build. We started with that first code and then kind of just added a little to it each time, but we would be able, like with more time, definitely add the other types of resources and have different things pop up for what type of resources underneath you underground, just to kind of help you find those resources easier.
Yeah, a kid actually in the computer lab asked me, how do I find gold? I'm like, you just dig. You know, you just dig. But you can actually use the Raspberry Pi.
There you go.
That's it.
On the side.
So while they're setting up, I'll say that, you know, the one thing that stuck out the first day was, you know, when they said that you should fail, to give in to the spirit of failure. We gave in time and time again. And our original project changed and morphed and then changed again. So
I think the biggest takeaway for us will probably be to take back the spirit of failure to the teachers, because all three of us, we support teachers on various campuses to make sure that we design learning experiences for teachers where they fail.
We need firsthand experience.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Nicole said, this was not our original design or plan or idea. So what it basically ended up being was after we got into it, we said, oh, that's not going to work. But you know what this kind of looks like? And then we just made it that. So like back in the day, before there were movies, there were these things called zoetropes, which is like the spinning wheel that had pictures inside. You spun it, you looked inside, the pictures looked like they moved, basically like a flip book. So we have an analog digital zoetrope. That's what we have developed here. And so we can take a look at it.
Yeah, you can see the back, so you can see inside. We took the little motor that we used the other day, and this transformed even in the last 20 minutes using thread.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, you know, we could use this. And then we glued the little pictures on there, so, and it's time lapse. So we'll see how that comes out. And then we created the little TV screen on the front side so that you can see the pictures as they stroll by. And we actually used the webcam, the little cam, and had the photos timed to go through in our series as well.
So when you get up nice and close and look through the window and you run it, if you have enough pictures close enough together and it doesn't get stuck, then it looks like it's, there it goes.
And actually, it's timed perfectly. So it was taking an image. We ran out of time with how close it should be, but it actually was like perfectly timed to take a picture in the window, because we're so perfect at spelling and learning.
So there you go. That's our zone.
Great job. Great job.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, I'm Terry, me, and some of you may have used the Seesaw app at school to get portfolios made of kids' work. This is like a primitive version of Seesaw. So what we wanted to do was have kind of a camera set up in the classroom, and the kids can go up to the camera, hold up their work, press a button, and then it will tweet out a picture of their work with a random message.
Yes, so we have it set up where right now they don't run quite the right time, but if we run this, it comes up with the preview, which is all of you. And then when you press the button, it's got a 3-second delay. Hopefully. Let's see. Right now it's got a really long delay.
Okay, hold on. Let's restart it.
Hold on.
Hold on.
What was wrong with it?
It was asking a message here, so I think it might have. Let me put it on my profile and we'll see.
Okay, go. All right, we're gonna try it one more time. Hopefully it works. We'll see. Get used to. Come on, button. No.
Oh my gosh, it totally
Okay,
worked
well.
before.
Worked for a really long time. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with it right now. But it has worked in all of our tests, of course. But so it takes a picture, it tweets it out, and then it gets stored into a file. And that's it. That's all that happens. But you can't see it.
So one of the problems we had before was it was working and then it stopped working because the router had disconnected from the internet. So I don't know if that's part of the issue, if we're not completely connected or what. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, it would count down and it would tweet out and it would be very cool. I don't know if they're already left on here, but yeah. What really happens is this. So you get this tweet and it tweets out the picture that the kids had onto Twitter, and that's it.
Very good. Very
All
Yeah, I know.
All right. Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I'm James.
I'm Michelle.
And we wanted to make a photo booth that renders pictures in Minecraft. We did find like a tutorial online, a great resource on the Raspberry Pi Learning Resources that tell you how to do this. So we wanted to add on to it and make it so that these images were shareable, because the problem is once you close that Minecraft world, there's no way to share it with people. So what hopefully this does is after rendering the image in Minecraft, we'll take a screenshot of that image and then automatically tweet it out.
Right.
So big thanks to Mark, Cyrus, Amanda,
Venus.
and Venus, yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, I felt like my students, you know, every time your students get stuck, they like raise their hand. I was trying my best to like sit on my hands and try and figure stuff out on our own. But once in a while I would hit a hurdle where like we realized we didn't know what we didn't know.
Well, the screenshot was the hardest, getting it into Python.
So how do we can't, all right. We have to start a Minecraft world. Let's see if this works. Okay.
Easier to look at mom.
Oh yeah, thanks, Matt. Okay, so while that's starting, we've seen this work exactly one time.
All right. No?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. The resolution is pretty low, so I think it's better if we do just a picture of us instead of turning it to the crowd. I guess, oh no, we got to do tab. It's quite a process setting this one up. And here, and then F5. And then, because it's already saved. Okay.
There you go.
So far, so good. Okay. Start the picture. Yay! Okay, so now, wait. Now
you
the
have to
tricky
go to-
part. What is it? Alt tab? Alt tab? Alt tab?
There.
Okay, look.
Here's
I
the
have
rendering.
exactly, I'm behind a tree. I have exactly under a tree.
Okay. Wait, there it is. No? Where are we?
Oh, I've got. Where's the rendering?
It's right there.
There it Okay, hold on. Okay, so, everything got lined up?
Yes, but I think it already tweeted out.
Oh, no, it didn't. Did it?
Yeah.
Did it? Okay, so, well, let's see what do we see while we're tweeting?
Oh.
Oh.
We're in the
So
air.
next steps. I can make the view teleport immediately to where the picture is, where you can actually see the picture. So, you know, given another 30 minutes, I think we could get there.
Give it another 4 hours. We originally wanted to have like a 3, 2, 1 light to tell you when the picture was going to happen, and then we wanted to also add a button so that would tweet out your picture, so you weren't like racing around like you just saw, trying to get that out. But yeah, so we just didn't have it. But it was great. It was wonderful.
Did we miss anyone? Anyone still need to share? Anyone still want to share anything? All right, so we have a little bit of time. Those projects were absolutely fantastic. I mean, that was incredible. You passed. All of you passed with flying colors. I know you were not sure there for a little while. Even though even that last test, the bringing the project here is the ultimate and most difficult test. We now have time for any kind of open Q&A. What are your concerns? What are your thoughts? What's something that we can cut the stream.
You want to say bye?
Bye stream. Thanks for watching.